Welcome to your energy update with the angels. I'm Devon Duerr, angel intuitive and spiritual teacher. The overall energy right now is causing us to feel like we're ready to finally feel at home with something. Do you not feel at home within a group of people, within a relationship, or do you just not feel at home in your own home? What are some things that the angels have guidance for us about that we can do to bring in that home feeling? Let's dive deeper, but first I have a pocket affirmation for you. I invite you to write in the comments below this video because I do customize these pocket affirmations to the guidance you are getting today. Remember, this guidance is meant for you anytime you come across it. I do set that intention with my prayer protection that it be in your highest interest to hear it at the time you hear it. And so go ahead and affirm that guidance by writing this pocket affirmation below this video. I belong feeling at home. I belong feeling at home. Write that in the comments below and we'll dive deeper into this guidance. First of all, they want you to assess, where is there a situation where you don't feel at home? And when they say not feeling at home, of course, it doesn't always mean your physical home, where you live, where you spend your evenings or go to bed at night. It also can mean within a group or where you feel like you can't be authentic. Maybe you feel like you have to put a mask on. You can't really say the things you want to say. You can't really show up in an authentic way. That might be somewhere where you want to look at a different approach so that you can step into your authentic creativity. Now, they are saying for a lot of us right now, this does have to do with some kind of recent, powerful revelation that has come into our life. Have you learned something new about those around you? Have you learned something new about yourself? Maybe you've realized you are much more gifted than you've given yourself credit for, which is the case with a lot of the viewers listening right now. We are not giving ourselves enough credit for how talented we are. We have these divine gifts that we were all born with, and we're not using them to the highest extent. Maybe you've been on a spiritual journey and you've discovered things that you never knew your heart wanted to explore. You never knew you had these intuitive abilities. Maybe you're brand new to this, but trust, you were born with these divine gifts and you were meant to use them. So there is somewhere you can go where you feel safe, where you feel at home using these abilities. And this is the main guidance here right now, is you're feeling challenged to figure out what that is. So we have more guidance here coming up for you, but one of the things they want you to know that is really going to help you is if you could add more skills to the work you're doing. So maybe take an online class, do some research to find a local group who can help you practice your skills. Maybe you're somebody that has always thought they could never paint, but all of a sudden your fingers are itching to paint. Go look for a paint class down the road where you could just, dip your baby toe in the water and try it a little bit. That can be really helpful for you too. But many of us are being asked to do this. Maybe you're being asked to go back to school. But of course, we have so much free education available to us right here on YouTube. So dive in deep. Go looking for somebody who is successful with a hobby you've always wanted to try, or successful with a business you've always wanted to try. Or maybe you are just brand new to using your intuitive ability, your psychic ability. So go find a teacher. Now, this is where the angels want me to remind you that as you are seeking these classes, these new skills, taking things to a new level, also don't forget to continue to check in with your intuition, because there are so many teachers out there and not everyone is right for you. What we want to do is ask our heart, does this resonate with me? If it resonates with you, you can keep going. But if you start to feel uncomfortable, sometimes that's fear blocking you, but sometimes it's because it's not the right class for you, it's not the right teacher, and something's just not working. Sometimes it's because it's something you've already done too many times and it's time to do something more challenging. And sometimes it's because it's something you've never done and you're just a little fearful about getting outside of your comfort zone. So sometimes it will take us getting out of our comfort zone to really understand where we feel at home. And I had a wonderful mentor teach me this. If you know me through Serious Joy, you know Sensei Christopher Witecki, who has become a good friend of mine and colleague. But back in the days when I was learning directly from him as a student, He told me, Devon, you're never going to feel comfortable really stepping into your power of working with the angels until you feel safe doing that. So it took me getting out there and finding a safe place to practice my skills. That's why I started what I eventually became my online coffee. It was actually in person, and I started it in 2019. We would meet locally at a coffee shop, and people who were interested in learning about working with the angels or using their intuitive abilities would meet with me, and I would teach a little class over a cup of coffee. But those people only showed up because they felt safe showing up, and they felt safe with me, which of course in return I felt safe as well. So that was that safe environment. Then eventually it moved online, and more people began showing up and realizing they had intuitive abilities too, and they needed an online group. So it might mean that you just need to find that online group or somebody who you can connect with and talk about these things and feel authentic doing that. So remember, that is an important thing that we're wanting to do. And they do see the way that you've been focusing on that. You've been focusing on releasing any fears you have over things turning out the way you want them to turn out, that you've been trying to find ways to just fall in love with life again. If you are listening to this video at the time I'm releasing it, the most recent video, they were also talking about taking a more playful approach to things. They kept going on and on about where are you trying to force a square peg into a round hole, or where are you being really impatient with something and the impatience itself or the fear and worry is actually causing a self-fulfilling prophecy, like I'm always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Like that's a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's blocking your partner from coming in because it is that victim mentality there. But you could take a more playful approach and get out there and do something really fun, not worry about when the ideal partner is going to show up for you, and just get out and have fun. And then all of a sudden, the activity you're doing makes you cross path in a very serendipitous way with the ideal partner for you. So these are the things that angels are always asking us to do, but they're also commending you that you have been trying to do more of that, and they really applaud you on that. So keep going, even if it's something just as small as taking more time to get outside and play fetch with your favorite dog. Get outside and go for a walk and talk to the neighbors. Go start up a group activity where you get to get some exercise together, maybe some hiking or playing pickleball. I don't know why that came to mind for me. Somebody out there likes pickleball, huh? I've always wanted to learn that. Should I learn that? I played tennis growing up and I miss it. I digress. Fun things like that we can get out to do are going to be really helpful. So the other thing they want you to hear at the time you are listening to these messages, it is important that you take a very professional and practical approach to the things you are dealing with right now. There might be new opportunities coming in for you. Maybe you recently just got a job offer, an invitation to go out on a date or to join a group on a vacation. They want you to look at those things in a very practical manner. We don't want to react, we want to respond. They want you to think things through carefully. Make the pros and cons list if you need to. I know I was just here talking about don't focus on the negative, don't expect the worst, but it is important to assess the facts. Okay, if I agree to go on this group trip, am I really going to be able to have the resources necessary for my next creative project? Or am I going to be able to take my own vacation that I really want to take? Am I giving too much time and energy to this group and I'm not getting to take that online class I want to take? So assess all these things. What are these new offers that just came from you? And by the way, thank you to my subscribers that are always here. Thank you for liking and sharing this video with whoever you think it would resonate. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'd love to stay in touch with you. And to my subscribers and anyone listening, what is this new offer that came in? Did you just get invited to an event? Did you just get a job offer? Did you just get invited to join a collaboration or join a group of people? What is this for you? Let me know in the comments. And then definitely listen to your heart. Check in with your intuition, because what's coming up for you very soon is a lot more health to your relationships. So is there a relationship in your life that is not going quite the way you want? Well, you can bring better health to all your relationships by getting out there and doing the things you love, meeting new people, and possibly accepting these new opportunities. Job, invites to invitations, getting asked on a date, or maybe an opportunity to ask someone else to join you on something, join you on that date. Again, you'll know what that is for you. Now, before we go into this guidance more, I have another pocket affirmation for you. And this one actually is leading from the last video too. So if you are watching this video like a year after I posted, again, these are evergreen. I say a prayer of protection that they reach you when they're in your highest interest. So it doesn't matter when they're posted. You're meant to see them when you feel called to click on them. But the most recent video to this, if you want to go back 1 week on the dated calendar, they kept talking about us having patience and making sure we're not blocking things. And here comes the guidance again, that your personal power is coming from having patience. So maybe I sound like a broken record to many of my subscribers, but you know, one of my all-time favorite pocket affirmations we are going to use here to help us have patience. I am in divine flow. Write that in the comments below right now. I am in divine flow. Now, what I want you to do here is actually picture yourself in flow. Now, maybe you're picturing yourself on a beautiful canoe and a beautiful river just flowing with the river. Or maybe you're picturing yourself caught up in golden divine light and the flow of divine light is flooding over you and you're just letting yourself get carried away with the divine flow. But allow yourself to take deep breaths and use this pocket affirmation every time you start to get impatient with the way things are going, because that is what they are saying right now. Your personal power is coming from having patience and allowing things to unfold the way they're meant to. Sometimes the partner that is meant to be our ideal partner in life isn't quite ready to meet up with you yet. They still have work they have to do. They still have to remove themselves from emotional blocks on their own. So allow yourself to get in divine flow and then just really get out there and have fun. Try to enjoy life's little luxuries. Find a more playful approach, and these people will come into your life when they're meant to, or these job opportunities will come into your life when they're meant to. You know what this is that you're hoping for, that you're ready for it just to be finally here to complete a project, to get that job opportunity. But trust again that having patience is where that personal power comes from. So, okay, I think I've said that to you enough here, because let's move on to the people around you. You want to surround your people right now with the people who don't give up on what they've created. They're working on something that's really important to them. They're dedicated to that. And that's who you want to surround yourself with. So when they were asking us at the beginning of this video, where do you not feel quite at home? You might be surrounded with people who give up too easily. You might be surrounded with people who put down your goals. They look at you and they go, you're never going to be able to do that. You've got to be kidding me. You're not going to have the resources. You're never going to have that opportunity. People, and they may even be trying to protect you. It may not even be intentionally negative. They're just trying to keep you from getting hurt in their mind. But that's where you want to remove yourself. Now, we're not talking about cutting people out of our lives, but if those conversations come up, find a compassionate, loving way to end that conversation and go put yourself in an environment where you feel like you can get motivated again. And this is again where you can find those online coaches, you can find groups of people who will support you, because they need the support as much as you do to not give up on their dreams. And so they're going to only surround themselves with people who are positive. They're only going to surround themselves with people who are saying, hey, don't give up, keep going. So look for those people. And also go listen to podcasts of people who didn't give up. One of my favorite podcasts to listen to is Fly on the Wall. It's David Spade and Dana Carvey. And they interview a lot of Saturday Night Live comedians, but also a lot of actors. And one of the things I hear over and over again from these really successful people is they just never gave up. They kept going through the hard times, through the good times. They didn't just stop their craft because somebody said something to them or because they felt like they didn't have the right connections or resources. They just kept going no matter what, even if it meant doing stand-up comedy for free on a Sunday night at a church, right? I mean, find these places where you can keep honing your craft, building your skills, because that's one of the things they did say in this guidance as well, is we really want to take our skills to a new level as well. So what comes to mind for you first? Could you work on your speaking habits, your writing habits? Could you work on your health? Could you spend a little more time paying attention to your health and getting your sleep routine better? Do you want that ideal partner in your life, but you work too much? Where could you rearrange your schedule to make time and space for these people? They can't come into your life if you work all the time and there's no time to take them on a date and get to know them. You have to be able to fall in love. So this is the guidance here. And I know that sounds really obvious, but for some of us, we just have to remember a lot of times the easiest answer is the most obvious, simple answer. So one more pocket affirmation here before we dive into this final guidance here from the angels for this video. The pocket affirmation I have customized to wrap up this guidance is, I easily attract trustworthy relationships. I easily attract trustworthy relationships. We're always going to check in with our heart on that. We don't want to get caught in that mindset that you always end up dating the cheater. You always end up doing a collaboration project with a partner who, takes advantage of you financially or leaves you high and dry at the project. We want to really focus on I easily attract trustworthy relationships into our life. Then again, that is how you will feel at home. Going full circle back to the very beginning of this video when we were saying that I belong feeling at home with our pocket affirmation, that's what they're saying again here. It means you feel safe. You feel like you can trust those around you to support you. You feel like you can be your authentic self and really show who you are. Then you feel at home. All right, so diving back into this guidance before we wrap up this video, they want you to focus on those things. It might be time to grab that vision board and update it. I encourage people to create vision boards in their journal so it's private and they can carry it with them and look at it all the time. That's what I do. My vision board is inside my journal. In fact, I'm probably gonna have some classes coming up on that if I haven't already at the time you're hearing this video, because that's a big thing for me. Is I do believe in vision boards. I do believe they work if you look at them. You're not going to look at them if they're behind the back of your closet door because you're hiding it from the other people in your house. You're not going to look at them if they're, somewhere where you can't get to them easily. Also, if you don't feel anything when you look at them, you're not going to look at them. So we want to check in with that. Have you created a vision board lately? Do you need to update it? If you haven't, I encourage you to do so, because ultimately what they're saying is this is going to bring you that contentment. This is going to show you when you sit there and work on, okay, what would I put on my vision board that would make me feel at home? What would I put on my vision board that would make me feel like I'm surrounded by trustworthy relationships, that I'm surrounded by people who don't give up? Go grab those pictures, put them on your vision board. I really encourage you to do that. It's going to help you so much with standing in your authenticity and using your divine gifts that you have available to you. Thank you so much for being here. And remember, take time every day to connect with the angels.